What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to go over something that I find very, very important to my YouTube life. It's one of the most important pieces of equipment that I've had this year, and that is the Sony A7IV camera. Yes, this thing's amazing. It's a beast. I'm going to tell you guys why I believe it is still a vital piece of equipment, even though the new version might be around the corner. So let's go over it. So to begin with, just to give you guys some reference points on how I got into videography and YouTube, etc. I own a real estate business. I shot all my own content. That's my short form, long form, etc. And I needed a camera. I bought the Sony ZV-E10 2 years ago, and it was an excellent camera, my first real camera. Before that, I would shoot on the iPhone, so my quality jumped up a lot. But as I started making more videos and more long form content, I was doing videos for my car, for my real estate. I was doing videos on tech. I realized I needed something a little bit more deep in photo and video. Because in my real estate business, I wanted to take really high quality pictures. The ZV-10 was a great camera, but it needed a lot of extras that I didn't feel like carrying around all the time. It was super light, and I give it that. For like vlogging, it had no in-body stabilization, and when I say that camera shook when you were trying to vlog with it, it did. Now, that does not take away from people using it for many things like vlogging, because I will tell you I got some of my best vlogs with it. But I wanted something with a little bit more oomph to it, and that was a full frame camera. So I started looking at newer models of cameras, and I started looking at A7IV, ZV-E1s, a Sony A7IV, which is APS-C. I thought I could find what I needed in these APS-C bodies, A6700 and the FX30. Awesome cameras, quality is top notch, but I wanted to be a little bit more future proof, and that's why I went with a full frame camera. Going to full frame camera, I found that there was a lot of options, and they were all really close in price points. I bought the Sony A7C II, and there's a video review. Did a review on that one, and I actually ended up picking that one over the A7IV. But as I had the A7C II, I realized, yes, it's small, it's portable, but I needed something a little bit more hybrid, in the sense that if I did want to shoot pro photography, the A7IV just fit better. It has dual slots and many more features that I will go over here in just a minute. So I ended up returning the A7C II, ordered my A7IV, and been in love with it since. Now, what I'm currently shooting on is the Sony FX3, because as I grew in my video needs, I realized that yes, the video in this A7IV is excellent. It really is. But it does have its limitations, and I wanted to go past those limitations, and I bought the FX3 just to fix that. Now, FX3, amazing camera, really is my dream video camera. But I find myself going back to my Sony A7IV time and time again. Now, this camera is a full frame bodied camera. It is beautiful to, I just love the way it looks. I mean, all the body on it. I currently have a small rig cage on it, which it does look good with the cage as well, but without the cage it looks even better. Its build quality is really good, and how durable it is. I've had this thing in different environments, hot weather, cold weather. I've had it in industrial setting. I've had this at construction sites over and over again, and it still holds out just fine. Build quality is superb. I've had this in really dusty places. The dust comes right off when you clean it. I never had to worry about dust really getting in between cracks and spots in between knobs and buttons. Nothing like that. I've had this camera in wet environments, and man, it's held up. I haven't had no glitches or anything with the any weird hardware issues. I had no water problems. Everything's really tight and sealed, and that's just the camera in general. If you have a G lens or something Sony related lens, Sigma lens, now all the brands are making really waterproof lenses, weatherproof lenses, I mean. But I've had this with the Viltrox lens, a little small Viltrox lens with no weatherproofing, and it still held up in the rain. So this camera, like I said, it's a beast, and I'm gonna go over why I picked it and why you should pick it too. Alright, so 2024, I bought the camera, started my video journey, started making my content on social media, on YouTube, for my business, and I needed to be able to dive between photo and video. So Sony A7IV has been awesome. I take very high quality pictures with it. I currently have the Sony 20mm G lens on this camera right now. This is how it stands. It does look a little bit bulk, the cage, but when the cage is off, this camera is slim and trim, I promise. It is not heavy at all. It isn't as small as some of the smaller form cameras that are out there, but it's just a perfect size. When I looked at the smaller cameras that were only slightly lighter, the lenses all the time, except for really small lenses, felt really big and extended. Now, unless you're gonna stick to small lenses, I wasn't gonna do that, but if you are, the small cameras, that's another pro for them. But for me, anytime I put a bigger lens on the Sony A7C2 or the ZV-1, it just felt too front heavy. The Sony A7IV is a perfect mix. I could put just about any lens on it. It's not gonna fall right over. I got my Sony 20mm, I have a 16-35mm, and I have a Sigma 24-70, which I'm shooting on right now. And that Sigma's pretty heavy. And it doesn't, my A7IV holds it up just fine. On another camera, I would be tilting over. That's another pro. To jump over back to the body of the camera, this camera has so many memory buttons and features that it really makes it an ease to use. Once you actually learn the camera and start to dive through it, you can do so much. You can switch from photo to video instantly on the knob on the top of the camera. You can switch between the modes, different memory settings. So you have aperture mode, portrait mode, shutter mode, manual mode, and then you have customs 1, 2, and 3. And that doesn't include the auto mode, which I've used as well. Because when you're in a pinch, an auto mode just, if you're in a hurry, the auto mode just gets it all, handles it all for you. Video doesn't come out perfect, but it's really good on the run. Furthermore, this camera has pro features. It has the HDMI port, full HDMI port. APC cameras just don't come with that. It has headphone jack, audio jack, of course USB-C charging, the newest Sony batteries, which are also very good. The LCD screen is pretty good. It's not the highest resolution LCD screen, but it does flip and rotate, articulate all the way. And trust me, the articulated screen is a lifesaver. You can use this camera at so many angles. You can hold it low, hold it high, and since it doesn't weigh a lot, you can have this camera on a gimbal, no problem. Second pro feature that I really like about this is the viewfinder. The electronic viewfinder, the EVF on top, is a perfect fit. The electronic viewfinder on the A7C2, hate to compare it, but it is one of the newest cameras that Sony released, is really small and it's on the right, like this. I like this nice and center body when I'm holding the camera with two hands. I can put it right on my eye. I wear glasses, so it fits just right. I don't have to take my glasses off. I can see right through it. It fits and works so well. Also, when I build this camera, when I put a small rig cage on it, I can add all types of attachments to it. A microphone, a light, a top handle cage. Just, you can do so much with it and it feels right. If you try to build out a smaller camera like that, it's just not gonna work. This camera shoots in 24 frames, 60 frames, and 120 frames per second. 24 frames in 4K, 60 frames in 4K with the 1.5 crop, and then 120 frames per second in 1080p. The video is excellent in 24 frames per second. Excellent video quality. I've shot so many videos with this. Super crispy, great in low light, and it just fits all my needs. Now when I do need to go in slow-mo, the 60 frames per second looks really good, really sharp. However, that crop is a little bit of a deterrent for some people, but let me tell you, if you're on the fence with this camera and you can get it for a really good deal, you should not let 60 frames per second hold you back from buying this. I'm telling you, I've been in plenty of situations. I've shot commercials with my business, with other friends' businesses, because now I run my own video photo business, and I will tell you that the video, even in 60 frames per second, is still really good. Yes, that crop does limit you, but you can always step back, get a wider lens, or I will say use 1080p. Now I've used the 1080p for slow-mo, 120 frames per second, and the video comes out just fine. It comes out really nice, slow-mo, really crispy, with good lighting, and even daylight lighting. The 120 frames per second 1080p looks awesome. 60 frames per second in 1080p looks awesome. Don't let this hold you back from this camera now that it's at a stellar price. Most places online are selling it at $2,100 or less. It's a steal. I saw a lot of Black Friday deals, brand new camera going for $1,800. Amazon had it $1,800 with the kit lens. If you're just getting into film, if you're just getting into photo, especially if you're getting into photo, and you want a hybrid shooter that's going to be able to make all your social media, all your YouTube channel stuff at good high quality, and it's going to last you a long time, get the Sony A7IV. It's been my best decision of the year, and I recommend it to anybody even going into 2025. Now 2025 is very likely that the next generation of this A7 series is going to be released. That would be the A7V, but don't let that deter you from getting this camera, because if the A7V does come out, it is more likely going to cause a price reduction in this, and that's going to be even more of a reason to get this Sony camera. It is going to be the best, in my personal opinion, introductory camera for any new YouTuber, new content creator. It's excellent. I can't speak highly enough of this camera. And normally I don't make videos going this hard on how good a camera is, but the Sony A7IV has just been so clutch for me. I literally started a photo and video business off of this, and like I said, it's been awesome. I use this for shooting family pictures, my content, just everything in general, and I can't say enough good things about Sony A7IV. You need something that's gonna last you a long time, has great low light capabilities, good pro features. This is it. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more footage or more Sony related gear, please watch my reviews on my channel. But for now, peace.